Hi, I'm Nikos with Metal Underground. I'm here with Gene Hoglan from Dark Angel.
Greetings, everybody.
And I'm here to ask him a few questions about pretty much what's going on with Dark Angel. So,
Sounds good.
so how has the European leg of the tour gone so far? You guys just started it, what, last week?
This latest leg, this is our second or third leg of this. But yeah, it's going amazing. Yeah, the first, this is our third leg, I think. Yeah, the first leg was, we started off in June, I think it was, and did a bunch of that stuff. And then I did some Death Clock right after that. And then we came back and did some more Dark Angel. And then after that, I think I went to Australia with Bear McCreary, and then I came straight from Australia straight here. So this is about our fourth or fifth show or something like that. It's going great. You know, we're happy to be here at Brutal Assault, one of the greatest metal festivals of all time.
30th year anniversary.
This is it?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was 29. Hey, congratulations to Brutal Assault. Thank you for having us here. We're really excited. Today we're playing the Darkness Descends album in its entirety, so that's pretty cool. And I'm about to do a drum clinic in about an hour or so.
Wow. And how many dates is this little leg of the tour?
I think about like 13 or something really small,
Okay.
really short. So we'll take it. You know, we're just happy to be here doing this, and then as soon as we get back, we start the Extinction Level Event run in the United States, and so that's going to be killer. That features, Sacred Reich and Hyrax and Violence at all selected dates, and so that's going to be a kick-ass tour. You know, we love Sacred Reich, we love Hyrax, we love Violence, we love all the bands involved. Midnight, I think, is involved as well. So that's going to be killer. So we're really excited.
So you're playing this leg with you're playing Darkness Descends in its entirety in memory of Jim Durkin. So now, do these songs feel like this? Is the same feel like when you released the album in 1986?
Well, I got to admit, they do feel quite a bit different now because just personally, I have about 40 years of experience since then. And when just personally speaking, like when I recorded Darkness Descends, that was my first album ever. I was like 18 years old. I had no idea what I was doing. And so my I remember we did slow the songs down for Darkness because they were really fast before that. But our producer Randy Burns said, take it down a couple of notches. And had I known 40 whatever years ago, 39 years ago, that we were going to be playing the same album 40 years later, I would have taken it down a little bit more. But
That's funny.
I had a lot of enthusiasm and energy back then. I didn't have a lot of technical skills or talent necessarily. But the vibe was definitely there for Darkness Descends, and I was trying to bring something new to the process of drumming. Like thrash metal was a relatively new experience for everybody at the time. So, all my peers, all the Daves and Gars and Charlies and Larses, they're doing their thing, and I wanted to bring my element to the table. So, I brought my own thing, trying to write patterns on the double kicks and, just all trying to write beats that just hadn't been heard yet. And that's something I've always tried to do throughout my career with individual thought patterns, symbolic, trying to come up with beats and riffs and things like that don't sound like anybody else. So, and if they're good, great. If they're boo, then I'll take the responsibility for that. But as a band, like just come out and check it out, man. Like we are on fire. The band has so much energy. Like a lot of folks have been saying, wow, like even last night, I forget where we played last night. Somebody will be able to tell me, but we played Warsaw, Poland. And, folks were saying this was the greatest thrash show I've ever seen in my life. Throughout all of our shows so far, we've been told, man, you guys just destroyed that festival. This was the best concert we've had at this club or whatever. So, we are definitely bringing it, and that whole energy and vibe of Darkness Descends and Dark Angel of that 1986 era, we've still got it, So we're really excited to be able to put that on display for everybody. So that's pretty cool.
Now, when you're playing Darkness Descends, do you get emotional knowing that Jim isn't there on stage with you? Does it ever kind of hit you when you're playing?
Well, it sure did when it was a lot fresher. And now we have, a couple of years down the road from it. And Jim is very, very present on stage with us everywhere we go. And Ron makes sure to let everybody know that exact sentiment, that Jim is here with us. Jim is, we do this in honor of Jim, and we're always thinking about Jim. So Jim is always there with us. So in that regard, it is a little bit emotional, but those emotions now are more of like, joy, and we're doing we're doing this, and so that's really cool. And I know that Jim would, Jim wanted us to carry on. Jim wanted us to, because Jim was putting in place the steps where Dark Angel needed to be able to carry on after he was not going to be involved with us anymore. He put those building blocks in place for when he was no longer going to be with us. However, we did not know at that time that he was not going to be with us anymore. We just thought that he was going to be kind of taking a step back from playing live and still writing, still doing that kind of stuff, and being a part of the whole band in general, maybe just not playing live as much. We did not expect for him to pass on. So that was the rough moment of it all. But we're here to honor Jim. We're here to honor the legacy of Dark Angel, and Jim's replacement, Laura Christine, was hand chosen by Jim. Like,
Really?
I had nothing to do with it. Nothing. He came to her and said, "I want you to replace me," and he's like, "You're my favorite guitarist. I want you to take over when I can't play live anymore." This was a number of years before he passed. He also went to the band, unbeknownst to me. He went to the band and said, "You guys take a vote. This is my vote. You guys figure out what you want." And everybody's like unanimously thumbs up, because now Laura's playing. Now know her and love her. So that was a very smooth transition for us, and her playing's killer. So it's a win-win in all regards. And like I said, I had nothing to do with it. So it's not like, "Oh, you guys can play guitar for us." No, none of that. So there you go. Just happened to work out that way. So.
All right, I'm gonna put you in a corner real quick. So,
All right.
what is your favorite? Yeah, you are in a corner. Actually.
Trapped in a corner.
So, what's your favorite song to play off Darkness Descends?
Let me see. God, I gotta say all of them because they're all so killer. God, I
Oh,
love
come on, you
playing
gotta
all
pick
of them.
one.
Okay, let me see. We're going down the list. I hate playing Perish in Flames because that's always the last song of the night. But I love that song. I love playing that one. Darkness Descends is awesome. I love that one. I love where Black Prophecies is placed in the set, because it's like that's a really challenging song to play. And as long as I'm not having technical issues with it, I'm playing that better than I ever have. So, I love playing Death of Certain Life Is Not, because it's just double bass and patterns. So this entire Darkness Descends set is just so crushing. But I'll go with just Darkness Descends. It's got that iconic intro. It's became, that intro has won Grammys in the States. So
Wow.
so we're stoked for all of it. I love playing the entire record.
So, let's talk about a little bit about Extinction Level Event.
Mhm.
And you can correct me if I'm wrong. It's the first album in 34 years.
That is correct.
34 years. Okay.
Right.
And when I say that first album in 34 years, how does it make you feel?
Satisfied, excited, elated, anxious. Like, I'm so over the top excited for everybody to hear this record. I am so stoked with this album. I think this album is crushing. My opinion, of course. We've released 2 singles so far. The title track, Extinction Level Event, and then another song called Circular Firing Squad. We could release every song as a single, and I'd be like, check it out. I'm so stoked for this record. I love it, and like I've been saying this whole time, it's like, I love this record. We put a lot of work into this, and every single aspect of this album has taken thousands of man hours, and if you guys like it, kick ass. If you don't, that's fine. The only thing as an artist or whatever I would request from anybody is just check it out. Don't just say you hate it. Listen to it and decide why you hate it. If you like it, listen to it and decide why you like it. Just check it out. And I have a feeling, I'm no slouch when it comes to metal. Look at my list of albums I put out. Can you name one slouch of a record where it was phoned in? You might not like this band or like this album or like that music or whatever, but every album I've ever done has been like pretty slamming. So this is one of the most proudest efforts I've ever been involved in, and I've been doing this for 40 years now. So, and here we are at this level, like at this level of experience, and I'm still stoked on the albums I'm putting out. The last 3 albums I put out are killer. One was Bear McCreary's Singularity, then the album after that was Death Clock's Death Album 4. God, 2 godly records there. Now Extinction Level Event, for me, the best of the 3. Hell yeah, man. And those other 2 albums I love. And so this album I'm very excited about. I'm just excited for people to be able to get it into their hands, listen to it, and you guys make your own decisions, man. Whatever you guys do, I love it. Nobody's going to change my mind on the music, the vocals, the artwork. I'm very into our artwork. We put so much work into our artist, Kane Gillis. He put 2,000 hours into it. He's painting stuff. Yeah, there's some AI involved, but it's human work. It's CGI. It is, CG. It is.
I can't stand AI artwork.
Hey, I don't.
As a tool, it's fine, right? But if it's the all AI,
well, it was an integrational tool. It's photography. It is CG, and I from my management, they tell me everybody thinks it's AI. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care what anybody's doing. I love the artwork. I don't care how it was created. I went to my artist 3 years ago and said, create something. I don't care how you do it. Make it badass. He did. That's all I care about. If people want to complain about AI, hey, you weren't complaining about Napster 25 years ago when all of our livelihoods completely changed because folks out there decided to just start taking music for free. So if nobody listened to us back then and we said, please don't do that, you're about to ruin our lives. You did not listen to us. So why am I going to listen to anybody that's back there on a keyboard going, this sucks because it's this? First of all, you don't know. You weren't there. You didn't see the amount of work we put into this. Serious amounts of work, serious amounts of man hours, human element to all of it. So that's why I love our artwork. And when it comes to the music with Dark Angel, we have always been a band that has been about evolution. We have arrived to not sound like Darkness Ascends. Darkness Ascends did not sound like Leave Scars. Time Does Not Heal, all of that. Extinction Level Event, that sounds like a brand new Dark Angel approach. It's metallic AF, it's heavy as hell. Riffy, catchy, killer. I love our vocals on it. If you like the vocals, killer. Give Ron Reinhardt the credit. If you don't like the vocals on it, blame me because those are what I created. So there you go. And Ron did a fantastic interpretation of it. So I'm stoked. I'm stoked on this whole record. I can't wait for you guys to hear it.
So I got a really important question.
Okay.
Super important. So will Extinction Level Event have more than 246 riffs?
Right. Well, that's another thing. That's another evolution for Dark Angel. Is like, we did that. We did that on Time Does Not Heal. We did that on Leave Scars. So evolution. Do I want to do that again? I had no desire to do that. So these songs range between 3.5 minutes and 5 minutes and 10 seconds. There's no song longer than any of that. And so that's just the way I felt like writing, just like, don't bore us, get to the chorus. These songs for me did not need a whole ton of big, long intros, instrumental intros. We have that element, of course we do. But the way I went into writing this record was, because people were asking, it's like, is it going to sound like Darkness Ascends? It's going to sound like Time Does Not Heal? What's it going to sound like? And I'm like, well, what's the best way to go about it?
It's going to sound like Dark Angel. Right?
Well, yeah, it's going to sound like Dark Angel. And what would that mean? I was like, so the actual physical steps I had to take in my brain was like, what if Dark Angel just kept writing albums for the last 34 years, releasing albums for the last 34 years, putting out music for the last 34 years? What would we sound like today. So that's kind of the best way to go about it. And so that, it's like, does it sound like Darkness? It's got elements of the energy. Does it sound like Time's Not Healed? It's got elements of the melody, I guess, to a degree, but it's got patterns with the kicks and all that kind of stuff, like Time Does Not Heal had and all that kind of stuff. So it definitely sounds like Dark Angel, but it doesn't sound like any certain point of Dark Angel. But when you hear it, you're gonna be, that is definitely Dark Angel. I think we definitely have that sort of, our own little signature, whatever we have. It is very present on Extinction Level Event.
I got one more quick question.
Yeah, man.
What is the release date?
It's coming up very, very soon. I don't have the exact date, but we're looking for September. That's what we're hoping for, and that's only 2 months away. Less than a month away. So
It is.
we are rushing to get that thing out, but we hope to be able to announce a date. Definitely before the end of 2025. We got 4 months left, and it's definitely coming out before the end of this year.
Awesome.
So I'm so excited. I can't wait for people to hear. Absolutely.
All right, I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank Bruce for letting us have this forum to do this interview. It's been awesome meeting you.
All right, on.
Thank you.
Excellent, brother. Thank you very much. So long, everybody.